Peter, I just want to ask you, with your as a former Northern Ireland secretary, a big moment that the Northern Ireland Assembly is coming back, but it's a huge moment that it means the First Minister is going to be from Sinn Féin.
Oh, I think this is going to be a landmark development in Northern Ireland's history. I mean, first of all, thank goodness the DUP, led by Geoffrey Donaldson, have seen sense and he's shown some bravery. Also, all credit to Chris Heaton-Harris, by the way, the Secretary of State, who has shown considerable patience and skill in getting the party to this point. But yes, it means that for the first time ever, an Irish Republican, Michelle O'Neill, will become the First Minister in Northern Ireland. I think she will conduct herself well and sensitively in that role, and so too she might, because this is still fragile. But here's another point as well. During the course of the coming year, you're going to see an election in the Irish Republic, where I think Sinn Féin, the Republicans, are leading in the polls, or very near, along with Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. If the Sinn Féin play their cards right in Northern Ireland, and it does them credit and status, and they look as if they're behaving in a responsible way, this will broaden their appeal, other things being equal in the Irish Republic, and you could see them topping the poll in the Irish general election in the coming year. That, too, would be an amazing landmark development.
And does that then lead to a poll on unification?
No, not necessarily. That would depend on where the public go on both sides of the border. If the British government concludes from a consistent pattern of opinion polls that there seems to be an emerging majority in Northern Ireland for a border poll to take place, then they would be obliged to undertake one, but it wouldn't just be in the north, it would be in the south as well.
But do you think that's the direction we're heading in?
Not necessarily. But I think the DUP and I think the cause of unionism have done themselves quite a lot of damage by holding out against the Assembly elections over the last
Peter,
2 years.
Can I ask you a question? If there was this is an open question, not sort of angled, but if there was to be a border poll of that kind, would the Labour government take a stance on whether or not there should be the Northern Ireland should remain inside the Union? Because our official position as a country is that we'd have no selfish strategic interest in the Union. So with Northern Ireland, so where would Labour go on it?
That would be the same. They would not campaign. They would not lean either way. Both parties have accepted, on the basis of the original Belfast Good Friday Agreement, that should two border polls take place, north and south, then the British government would stand back and allow the public to have their say.